Online, human connection is instantaneous. You can find a collaborator or a community across the globe in milliseconds. But while the internet is frictionless, our physical world remains frozen in place. Your immediate neighbors are usually determined by historical borders, the length of a commute, or what you can afford. These arbitrary factors dictate who you interact with every day, often trapping you in a social circle that has nothing to do with your goals or interests. What if our physical environment could move as fast as our ideas? Imagine a city that rearranges itself to keep pace with your own intellectual and spiritual growth. This becomes possible once we automate the logistics of survival. If every physical task, from manufacturing to waste management, is handled by a seamless automated grid, human effort transitions entirely towards creative and cognitive contribution. When we no longer have to live near a specific factory or office just to survive, the primary focus of our lives changes. Success is no longer measured by where we can afford to stay, but by the quality of the people we choose to surround ourselves with. Instead of sorting by financial status, this society uses an algorithm of connection. It maps proximity rankings of who inspires your best work. As interests evolve, the algorithm identifies people moving in the same direction, pulling your nodes closer together. This data culminates in a global event called the shift. It's the day when the digital map of our relationships is finally translated into the physical world. As the event begins, the city's infrastructure activates. Every house is a self-contained modular unit that unlocks from a massive foundation grid, ready to move. This is the modular ballet. Using underground magnetic rails and autonomous transport systems, millions of homes slide past each other in a synchronized dance, relocating based on the year's new proximity rankings. Within 24 hours, the entire population has been sorted, turning human alignment into a physical reality. You wake up the next morning in a completely reconfigured neighborhood. When you step outside, every person you see is someone the system has identified as a vital partner for your current life's work. This creates specialized enclaves. In the intelligence frontiers, the atmosphere is analytical and high energy. Here, teams spend their entire days mapping cognitive architectures and writing the foundational code that governs artificial general intelligence. Nearby, you might find a perception collective. These hubs are focused on philosophical clarity. Residents here practice stripping away mental conditioning to observe reality without filters, believing that clear observation leads to the most effective action. To keep the system healthy, system weavers act as societal supervisors. These sociologists and ethicists monitor the shifts to ensure the algorithms remain fair and that no individual becomes isolated during the reorganization. Finally, the experiential creators take the abstract data and philosophy from other enclaves and turn it into something tangible: art, music, and the very designs used to build the next generation of modular homes. Because the best place to live is constantly rebuilding itself around you, the friction of searching for your community is gone. You no longer travel to find your kin. They are delivered to your doorstep. From a distance, the planet no longer looks like a collection of static, divided nations. Instead, it behaves like a single, responsive system, where the movement of millions of people acts as a feedback loop for human intent. Daily life in this system is defined by deep collaboration. You spend your hours in focused flow states with neighbors who are just as invested in the project as you are. Mentorship becomes a natural part of survival here. Because your proximity to others depends on how well you support the group, the system rewards you for uplifting those around you and sharing your expertise. We call this frictionless alignment. When geography is no longer a barrier, humanity can finally pool its collective intelligence to tackle multi-generational challenges, like understanding the nature of consciousness or exploring the far reaches of the solar system. By building a world that physically bends to foster human connection, we've ensured that the people needed to solve the next great problem are always standing exactly where they need to be.